if you're paying $2,600 in rent right now, it probably feels like you're falling behind and throwing your money away. Your friends are buying condos, building equity, and you're wondering if you're just wasting money. But what if I told you the GTA in 2026, the person renting could actually come out ahead? Here's the reality. In Toronto right now, owning a $650,000 condo costs about $3,900 a month. Renting the same place around $2,600 to $2,800 all in. That's about a $1,300 difference every single month. So the real question is, what happens if you invest that gap? But owning a condo isn't just a mortgage. You got property taxes, you got maintenance fees, you got insurance, and the biggest one is interest. So let's break down what it actually costs to own that same $650,000 condo in Toronto. Before you even get the keys, you're already in about $150,000. That's $130K for the down payment, assuming you put down 20%, plus another $20K in closing costs. So that's before you've even paid a single mortgage payment. Now, for this example, I'm using the rate at about 3.5% variable interest rate. That's the lowest kind of what you can get in the market right now. So here's the numbers that actually matter. Owning this condo cost about $3,943 a month. It's not the mortgage, the full cost. Here's where the money goes. About $2,600 is your mortgage, $550 in maintenance fees, $350 in property taxes, and then you got utilities, insurance, and everything else on top. Now here's what surprises most people. In the first few years, a big portion of that $2,600 mortgage payment is just the interest to the bank, not equity. So even though you're owning, a lot of that money isn't coming back to you. So let's compare that to renting the exact same condo. Right now, that's about $2,600 a month all in, which means every single month you're saving about $1,300 by renting. Now, keep in mind, these are just baseline numbers. If property taxes, interest rates, or maintenance goes up, then owning gets more expensive. If rents go up, renting gets more expensive too. So this isn't just about exact numbers, it's about understanding how the decision actually works. Now, here's a real question. What happens if you actually invest that $1,300 every month? Because over time, that $1,300 a month can turn into some serious money. After 5 years, you're looking at around $90,000 invested. After 10 years, that's over $200,000 invested. After 20 years, you're getting closer to $700,000. Now, this assumes you're investing that $1,300 every month at around 6 to 7% annual return, which is pretty typical for the stock market over the long term. That's what gets you those numbers. And this isn't just a theory. Research from PWL Capital and work by Ben Felix shows that renters who consistently invest the difference can actually come out ahead over time. But again, there's a catch. Most people don't actually invest the difference. What do? They spend it. That extra $1,300, it disappears into vacations, eating out, random expenses. So even if renting can be better on paper, in real life, a lot of renters still fall behind. Now, there's another piece most people completely ignore. That $150,000 you used to get the condo. What if that money was invested instead? At a 6 to 7% return, that alone could turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. So let's say you took that $150,000 instead and invested it at around 6 to 7% return. On top of that, you're adding that $1,300 every single month. After 1 year, you're already at $175,000. After 5 years, that's roughly $300,000. After 10 years, you're looking at around $520,000. And after 20 years, you're over at $1.2 million. That's the power of combining your initial investment with the monthly difference. Now, if you only invested the $150,000 and didn't add anything monthly, it would still grow significantly over time. But the real power comes from combining both the $150,000 and the $1,300 difference every month. And again, this assumes a steady return over time, and markets, they do not move in a straight line. And this assumes your money stays invested and continues to compound over time. Now, let's compare both side by side over time. Renting and investing versus owning the same $650,000 condo. After 1 year, the homeowner is still sitting at about $150,000 in equity. The renter investing the $150,000 plus the $1,300 a month is around $175,000. So early on, they're pretty close, with the renter slightly ahead. After 5 years, the homeowner has about $268,000 in equity. The renter's portfolio is now around $300,000. Now the renter starts pulling ahead. After 10 years, the homeowner is roughly at about $428,000 in equity. The renter around $520,000 invested. That gap keeps growing. You get the picture. And after 20 years, the homeowner is still sitting at about $820,000 in equity. The renter's portfolio just over $1.2 million. That's a difference of roughly $400,000. Now, let's add another layer most people ignore. Interest payments. A big portion of it is going to the bank. Over the first year alone, you're roughly paying about $22,000 in interest. After 5 years, that's about $100,000 in interest paid. After 10 years, that's closer to $180,000. And after 20 years, you're looking at roughly $300,000 in interest. That's money you never get back. And at the same time, we're assuming the property is growing at about 2% per year, not anything crazy, not what we saw in COVID or anything like that, just a steady 2% per year. So yes, the home is increasing in value, but a big part of your payments early on are just covering the interest. After all that, you think this decision comes down to the math, but it doesn't. It comes down to your behavior. Because on paper, renting and investing can actually win. But in real life, most people don't invest or put that $150,000 directly into the market. They spend it, they buy, they'll buy a nice car or just go on a simple vacation. And this is something that has been researched significantly from PW Capital and Ben Felix, who talks about it a lot, that biggest difference isn't the math between renting and owning, it's how people behave with their money. When you own a home, you're forced to save every single month. You don't get a choice. But when you rent, that extra money just sits in your account and it's very easy to spend it. So even if renting can be the better financial move, for a lot of people, owning ends up winning anyways. But let's be fair here. There's a very strong case for renting as well. Because when you rent, you're not locking that $150,000 into one single asset. The money stays liquid, it stays invested, and it keeps growing. And as we saw earlier, that alone could turn into $1 million over time. You also get flexibilities. You can move cities, change jobs, adapt your lifestyle. You can move around in the world wherever you want. Your money moves with you. And for a lot of people, not having a massive mortgage hanging over their head means mentally less stress. It means more freedom, and it gives you more control over your life. And this is something that Ben Felix talks a lot about in his research, that renting isn't throwing money away. It's the cost of flexibility. But again, this only works if you invest the difference. Because if you don't, you lose the biggest advantage renting has. So renting isn't a step backwards for the right person. It can actually be the smarter move. So is renting throwing money away? In 2026, the answer is no. Renting can actually be a very smart financial move if you're disciplined enough to invest the difference. But that's the key, because owning a home forces you to build wealth. Renting doesn't. So this decision isn't just about math, it's about you. Your habits, your discipline, and what you're actually going to follow through on. Because in the end, both paths can build wealth, but only one will work if you stick to it. So the real question is, which one are you going to commit to? If you want help running your numbers and figuring out what actually makes sense for you, comment, calculate below. My name is Sandeep Takhar with Remax Realty Specialist, and I'll help you break it down. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.